Yes, yes, yes. Okay, y'all. I'm really, really excited about verses tonight. I don't know if you can tell. That's Queen Patti LaBelle. When you've been blessed, welcome, welcome, welcome to another Sunday in the gray area. I hope everybody's having an amazing week. I know I am. And for those who are sleeping somewhere and don't know what the gray area is, let me break it down for you really quick. The gray area is where topics we avoid but need to tackle exist and lay dormant. It's where people on both sides of an issue find understanding. The gray area is where we learn new things about others and ourselves. Guys, I'm just super excited to be hanging with you all today. I'm your lovely host, Shari Nycole, and just I'm so elated to just be able to have another Sunday to spend some time with you all. I'm also excited to have my good friend, singer, talk show host, serial entrepreneur, reality star, just an all-around amazing person. Trina Braxton is hanging out with me today, and we have so much to talk about. She is still a newlywed. Excuse me, according to me anyway. She's still a newlywed. So we're going to talk about how marriage has been treating her, what she's been up to during this COVID-19 pandemic. Braxton Family Values is coming back in November, and just so many other things that we can talk to her about. She has such an amazing and powerful story, and I think it's very important that she come on and share about love, loss, faith, fun, and family. So make sure you guys keep it locked. It's going to be a great, great show. And before I do that, before I bring Trina on, I also want to thank everybody so much. A project that I executive produced alongside Selena Johnson and Dr. Celicia. It's called The Making of a Woman. It premiered on Fox Soul. The first episode premiered on Fox Soul on this past Tuesday and re-aired actually yesterday. And I just want to thank everybody so much for their support. That docu-series, it was the #1 viewed program on Fox Soul the day of its premiere. Not sure how it did last night, but I'm hoping and praying and believing God for the exact same thing. So I just want to thank everybody so much for all your support. And it's such a labor of love for us. And God is really opening that door. So I hope everybody's, tuning in and has an opportunity to check it out and watch it. So many lessons that you can definitely learn. And if you haven't yet seen it, no worries. You can always go to the Fox Soul YouTube page. It is up, running, and ready. And I would love to get your opinion. So when you check it out, or if you've already checked it out, make sure you hit me up on my Instagram at Shari_Nycole, SHARI_NYCOLE. So, I led off with Patti LaBelle, When You've Been Blessed, because I'm so amped about verses between Miss Patti and the incomparable Gladys Knight. So I'm going to tell you guys straight away, I am Team Gladys, okay? I'm just letting you all know that. No disrespect, because I love Patti LaBelle. Don't get it twisted. But I am Team Gladys all the way. Who do you guys have? Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know who you think is going to win. And I wanted to really pay homage to R&B soul vocalists who have dibbled and dabbled in gospel music for the gray area. This whole show is dedicated to them. So I led with Patti. I just thought it was a great way to start our show out. And God has done some awesome things. And everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a testimony. Everybody goes through things. But at the end of the day, if you can hear my voice, you know that you've been blessed. And what should we do when we've been blessed? Pass it on, because guess what? We have overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So make sure something great happened to you today. Make sure you share it with a family or friend. Make sure you share it with me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, whatever. I like good news. So let's keep spreading it. And speaking of Gladys Knight, because I'm Team Gladys, and mind you guys, make sure you tune in to Versus. It's 8 p.m. tonight. Versus is 8 p.m. tonight. It's on Instagram. It's on Apple Music, I believe. It's all over the place. So it's good, fun, family, good time tonight on a Sunday night. And in order for me to continue to get ready, I want to play a song by Gladys Knight that was actually redone. We call it a remix now, by James Cleveland back in the day. It's called Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me. Now, y'all can't tell me. I really wish you would tell me that Gladys Knight is not the winner. She's going to show the world tonight that she's the queen. I went to a Gladys Knight concert a few years ago with a good friend of mine, Mr. Rock Newman. Shout out to Rock Newman, just a great, great human being. And it is in my top 3 concerts that I've ever attended. And it's crazy because I literally saw grown people crying in the audience, and not just like grown women, grown men as well. Like, it was one of the most awe-inspiring, moving experiences that I've ever had at a concert. So shout out to Gladys Knight. Hope you guys will be tuning in to Versus tonight at 8 p.m. Also, shout out to my Instagram family. I'm showing them a little bit of extra love right now, hanging out on my Instagram Live for a little while for the hot topics like I normally do. But you guys know, Instagram family, that after a while, when I start talking to Trina Braxton, this is going to go off. So you need to make sure that you listen either if you're in Philly, go on over and turn the dial to 100.7 FM. If you are at the crib and don't live in Philly, no worries. You can download that Philly's Favor app to listen live, or you can go to philliesfavor.com to listen live as well. AJ Sims 21 on my Instagram says, I don't know. Patty's voice will make you feel good. Yeah, as in YA. I feel you on that. AJ Sims 21. I got you, but I don't know. Something about Gladys. She does something for my spirit. And you know who else does something for my spirit? Is Naomi Osaka. I just want to shout her out. She came from behind to win the U.S. Open the other day, and I'm just young, gifted, and black. What can we say? And after winning, she said, I would like to thank my ancestors because every time I remember their blood runs through my veins, I am reminded that I cannot lose. What a powerful message. This is actually Naomi Osaka's second U.S. Open win. It's her third major title. So big ups to her. And also for those who follow tennis in any way, she was wearing masks with the names of those that we have lost, the Black lives we have lost due to violence at the hands of police and things of that sort. So she had Ahmaud Arbery, she had Breonna Taylor, just utilizing her platform to be able to continue to spread awareness and push the movement forward. So shout out to her, big ups. And you know, I like to say this, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. So please be reminded of that. And what better song? We're gonna go through our catalog here. We're gonna go move on over to Michelle Williams, who said it best with this song I love. It's called Say Yes. That was Michelle Williams, Say Yes. I love that song. And for those just tuning in, welcome into the gray area. I'm your host, Shari Nycole. So excited that you've joined me today. I am paying homage to the lovely Miss Patti LaBelle, the lovely Miss Gladys Knight, as we get ready for Versus tonight at 8 p.m. And I'm also just dedicating the show to R&B songstresses that I think are amazing that have actually done some gospel records. So that was just Michelle Williams with Say Yes. And I wanted to bring in a quick verse that I was thinking about that really got a hold of me this week that I'm hoping can get a hold of you as well. I was talking to some friends of mine, and we were just talking about life and stuff and how we need to kind of get our minds right and work on our perspectives. And my friend brought up this verse, Exodus 14:14, and I'm going to read it in the Message. It said, God will fight the battle for you, and you keep your mouths shut. Man, what a scripture, you know. And for me, I have an issue sometimes with processing out loud and saying things that I'm feeling. And sometimes, you know, when you do that, you may be saying things that are counter to what the move of God that is trying to occur in your life wants to do. So sometimes we speak against those things that God is actually trying to do for us because we are too quick to talk. We are too quick to complain. We are too quick to vent. We are too quick to gripe. So I want to leave that with you guys. Exodus 14:14, it knocked me off my feet. God will fight the battle for you, and you keep your mouth shut. Trust him. He's going to do it. I got Trina Braxton coming up next. But before I bring Trina on, there's this song that really makes me think about her and all the levels of trauma and triumph that have happened in the course of her life. She's come through so much, and she's come through new, shiny as gold. I'm not even gonna preach to y'all know how it goes, but you know, I think about her resilience, and she's one of the people in my life that is one of the most resilient people I've ever been around. And so I wanted to play this song to lead into our conversation today. It's from Fantasia featuring Ty Tribbett. It's called I Made It. That's my jam, y'all. And that makes me think of my Trina Bina. I call her Trina Bina. Everybody else knows her as Trina Braxton. Trina, are you on the line?
I am on the line.
Yay! Hi, Trina Bina.
Hey, my love ball. That song is everything. Fantasia is everything.
Yeah, it made me think about you. And, you know, I was able to witness firsthand some of the ways in which you took some really hard blows, but really bounced back. And I would just say to you, I don't even know if I ever shared this with you, but it's just been, you were such an inspiration to me in that regard on how to fight through things, not how to complain your way through stuff, and also how to feel your way through things. And as someone, you know, for myself, I've struggled with vulnerability most of my life, and to watch someone like you be so open to being vulnerable and being okay with it and taking the time you needed to regroup and tend to yourself and put yourself first. I want to say that I admire you for that, and thanks for being such a dope example.
Well, you're such a dope example. I'm glad that you are finally living your dream, and now that you're in the forefront, because we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
I'm just grateful. You know, God does all things well, and it's crazy because, you know, Sister Circle was such a special time for all of us. And when it came to an end, I actually saw all of us, you know, producers, you know, the host, everybody kind of went in some of those directions that they should have been in or wanted to be in, and just didn't necessarily have the time or capacity with Sister Circle as a part of their life. So as great as it was to us, I also think that God releasing us from that opened us up to some other things that he wanted us to do.
That's true, but I still cried first. It
is a little sad. It is just a little bit sad. It is. And I miss you guys. Like, you know, one can only imagine the impact we could have made, you know, with everything going on, and then just not seeing you guys as much anymore.
Well, because the thing is this, the thing with Sister Circle that I miss the most, and I'm going to tap into it for just a second, then I'll get off of it, and I hope I don't throw you off whatever series of questions that you have. No,
this is good, Trina. We're just talking.
The thing was, I miss having a sense of purpose every morning. Because I knew with Sister Circle, there was something that at least one of the hosts had to say that would change someone's life or change someone's perspective or their decision making, and that was very special. But one of the things that we always touched on and talked about on Sister Circle was mental health, and that's something that's in the forefront of my family right now, and it's very easy. When you're talking about other people, it's easy, you know, when you have these guests come in for 1 hour a day and you only have to deal with it in that moment. But when it hits home, it becomes a completely different can of corn. You know what I mean? And I like to start off, and I don't want to start off heavy, so please.
Trina, we are talking, sis. Whatever is on your heart to share, just go ahead. It's fine.
You know, because it is so prevalent in my day-to-day life right now. You know, I say this like Rashawn Ali used to say this, always check on your well friends.
Yeah. Because
the people who seemingly have it all together don't always have it all together. And, you know, we as a community, as African Americans or brown people, you know, we always say, you know, what happens at home stays at home. You know, you know, we live in a covered wagon, and we don't want the public to know our personal business. And to a certain degree, I get it and I understand it. And when she's ready to tell her story, Tamar will tell her story. But I think when she finally is able to, and when she does, I think it will help so many other people, because we are so afraid to say, I need help.
Yeah. And Trina, how do you deal with that as, you know, a sister when, you know, these things are going on and, you know, hey, these are some of the best steps to take, and maybe some of those steps aren't being taken at the time. And then you still, like you said, you have to ward off, you know, different comments or assumptions by other people. I mean, that affects you as well. So how do you, especially with everything that's going on in the world around us, the pandemic, racial and social injustice, forest fires, you name it. How are you coping with, seriously, it's like, how are you coping with that too?
Well, you know, you can't call it. You know what I mean? Because things change from day to day. And first of all you can do is pray. Well, I'm going to start there. Because we are a family of faith and we're a family of prayer, no matter, you know, what the comments might say or not say. I can't even address those people right now because it's bigger than them. But when someone has a real story to tell, I don't care if it's my sister. I don't care if it's the girl 3 doors down. It's very real, and you can't be ashamed of the fact that you need help. Everybody needs help in some capacity at some point in their lives, and no one is exempt from it. No one is exempt.
When did you come to the realization, Trina, in your own life, like, hey, Like, I know I'm in the public eye. I know my family's in the public eye. But like you just said, if I need help, I'm okay with saying that or asking for that. When did you kind of come into that realization and actually act that out in your own life?
In all real talk, I was tired of being sad. I was tired of being sad all by myself. And I needed somebody to talk to, and whether they understood or not, and whether they had to leave early to get it out of my body was the most important thing for me. So when I found that person who would listen, whether it was a counselor or just a really close friend, there's always going to be that one person who wants to help.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to keep trying until you get to that person. And not to say you want all your business out in the street, but sometimes you need to talk it out of your body. Or you'll explode. You'll go crazy. And I can't talk for people who are suicidal or anything like that. And I'm not saying that I've been there, but I understand how they got there, because they have so much in their bodies that they feel like they can't release, because they've been told that, your business stays at home, or you're not supposed to, relinquish the family business here, there, or anywhere, to where they have no form or sense of release. And you can't take that away from someone. They have to talk to someone. I think that's why counselors and therapists are there, because somebody needs somebody to talk to, in an unbiased forum. Definitely.
So I wanted to ask you too, Trina. I mean, your family, your sisters in particular, have been very transparent at times about just you all's upbringing, your spiritual upbringing, and how in certain respects it was felt restrictive. And as you kind of came into adulthood, you realized, man, I should have just went out on the limb and did this, or made that decision, or took a risk here. Or so can you kind of speak to your spiritual journey and growth and evolution from kind of that, very strict kind of religious place to where Trina Braxton is now?
Oh, wow. There's always that woulda, coulda, shoulda, whether you're religious or not. But for me personally, I grew up with religion, but I had to get to a point in my life where it transferred from religion to relationship. And, you go through all these things from what you're taught. I think religion is what is taught. Relationship comes with spending personal time. So I have a relationship with God. So I'm not sure what kind of show this is, but I don't care, because I'm going to talk about relationship and what I have.
Yeah, that's what we own. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's more relationship for me. And then sometimes, whether it's, your carnal friends or whatever the case may be, sometimes you can't even talk to God, even as your friend. And in your relationship, sometimes you can't talk to God. Sometimes you just say, just help me. And that's all you can say. That's all you can muster.
Yeah.
That's all you can muster. Some days are better than others. And it has been for me. I went through the death of my husband. I went through the death of my niece. And I went through the death of my aunt. And it just seemed like everything was like a tumbleweed. Like everything just kept on happening. I'm like, God, like, when? When you say when? I'm like, when? I'm saying when.
Yeah.
But he had a better plan for me to make me stronger. And for a real cute second, I was drinking too much. I wasn't sleeping enough. I wasn't talking to him enough. I wasn't paying attention to the things I needed to pay attention to enough. But I had to allow myself to take that journey. I had to allow myself to go through it. And sometimes it affected different things in my life. It just did. How I performed, even as a talk show host, because sometimes I drank too much that night before. You know what I mean? Or, sometimes I was just too tired to do what I had to do, but I was trying to drown out all of the hurt that I was feeling inside.
Wow.
Because I didn't
let me
want
ask you
everybody
this.
to know my business. I didn't want everybody to know how I'm feeling.
Was there a level of kind of guilt you felt, Trina, and if in terms of just kind of having to go through that? And then at what point, if so, at what point were you able to give yourself enough grace to be like, hey, this is just a part of my story, and I'm grateful God saw me through it, and now I can help somebody else who may be struggling in some of these areas.
You know what, Shari, it's a huge burden. It's a huge burden, but it's one of my tasks to help somebody else through it. And I didn't know it, I didn't understand it, and I didn't realize it because, we said all those things about Braxton Family Values as a show. We were like, okay, well, our story might help someone else. Our story as sisters, as a family that people see in the quote-unquote limelight that go through the same things that they do. But, Shari, ooh, you can hear that. I hope you can hear that. But
no, I didn't hear
the thing is, when you say those things, you're very well intentioned and you believe it when you say it. But when you go through it, it's such a horse of a different color because even though it's like, oh, I'll show this, I'll be transparent about this issue, but what about all of the other underlying issues that real people go through on a real day-to-day basis? Why are you hiding it? Who are you saving? Because you're not saving yourself, and you're definitely not saving that other person. And that's why I was like, you know what? Screw it. It is what it is, and it's not what it's not. And if my journey or lack thereof can help someone else progress to that next level, then I've done my part.
Yeah. When you talk about progress, I mean, you're in love with what I call him Big Bro Von Scales, because Von is he's just a great human. And
when he do it,
look at what God did for you. And I just love you guys together. And what part of Trina Braxton did you have to kind of release in order to be a receptacle for some of the things that God wanted to do for you with Vaughn?
I had to be more submissive. And let me tell you, that quote-unquote strong black woman that's listening, I don't need a man to do this, I don't need a man to do that. I'm going to tell you, I absolutely need one. And I'm glad that I do. I like feeling like a girl. I like a man paying the bills. I like a man opening my door. But guess what, Miss Strong Black Woman? This is the way it was ordained to be. I'm supposed to be a girl. Yeah. And he's supposed to be a whole dude. And
what?
And it wasn't so much with my husband that passed, but I have been in relationships to where I had to be all things. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Well, you can call me a weak black woman if you want to, because I like having a dude, and I like having a man that pays the bills and is the head of the household like he's supposed to be. I like being able to say, you wait till Vaughn gets home, and there's a shiver, You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, and it's interesting you say that, Trina, because it's like, okay, you wanna feel like your man's leading. You want to feel vulnerable. You want to feel like a girl, and all of these things, and then being put in positions over the course of your life in relationships where you weren't able to do that. But then that level of quote unquote dysfunction became your level of functionality. How difficult was it for you to break that wall down? And first of all, see that, hey, I'm tripping. I need to chill on trying to take over everything, and I need to submit to my man. Like, what was that coming into knowing like for you?
Girl, at first it was not easy. At first it's like what? Alpha male. Do I need to, kind of be this chick that's like, wait, dude, you're not gonna talk to me like that? Or do I put it in the right perspective, or do I put it in the right place and like, you know what? This is a man who wants to be a man. And I have to allow him to be that. And we can complain all day long, because every woman, whether she wants to be a woman's woman, I don't need no man, every one of us, and I don't care who you are, and you can lie and say that you don't want to be this woman, but it's a lie. every woman wants to be safe and secure in her household when she's with a man, when she has a husband. Every woman wants her man to pay the mortgage. Every woman wants to make sure that her man is making sure that the cars are clean when they get in the garage. Every woman wants the trash to be taken out.
Yeah.
I can take out my own trash. No, I sure can't. And I don't want to. Thank you for taking out the trash, boo.
Y'all catch that? Trina's not taking the trash out. So don't ever, I don't care if it's on a set or in her own house. It's not happening.
I think, and I'm going to get some backlash for this. But
why?
I think there are roles.
I agree with you on that.
I'm not sure if I live in 1950, but I think there are roles. I'm not trying to set us back because I feel like women should be in the workplace. I feel like women should make their own money. I feel like, you know, if a man leaves you, you should be able to take care of yourself, you know, to a certain degree. And, you know, you have something for yourself put away. I believe in that wholeheartedly. However, while I'm in it, I want to be the girl. I don't want equal. I don't want to go to dinner and then I got to pull out my credit card. I don't want to go to dinner and he doesn't open my car door. Guess what? I'm going to put on a dress and I'm going to put on some perfume. I don't want to put on a suit to show him that we're equals. I'm going to put on a skirt and some panties. I'm not going to wear boxers. Because I don't want that role.
I'm not mad at you, Trina. And I think it's nothing wrong with that. And I think the reason why, you know, I created the gray area is to have conversations like this because, you know, just as much as you believe what you believe and this is the way that you want to live your life and believe that this is the way that it should go, there are people that believe the opposite, but that's what's important is introducing the side. So for me, you speaking about these things, yeah, somebody might have something to say, but other people I'm sure will agree. And also we can all learn something from what you're saying, because at the end of the day, you're still speaking from the heart of a woman. And I think with such passion. And so when women hear this, I'm certain there's things that they can draw from what you're saying to reevaluate not just their relationships or what their man is or isn't doing, but what they're bringing to the table and or not. And I think being introspective is so important, especially in this day and time where we as women need to look inward and say, okay, I want these things. I want a marriage, or I want to be in a healthy relationship or what have you. But what are you bringing to the table? How are you setting yourself up to have those things? So I am totally in step with the things that you're saying. And I think it's great that you raise these points because people need to hear this side of it. I think we've gotten away from things in a sense, and we think stuff is too traditional, old school. Well, it's called fundamental principles sometimes to things, and it doesn't make it old school or outdated. It's a fundamental principle that can still be practiced whether we're in 1950 or 2020.
Yeah. So am I supposed to work all day and then come home? But sometimes I do have to put this caveat out there because sometimes it is more feasible for the woman to go to work if she makes more money and then he's at home, you know what I mean, and taking care of the kids and blah, 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 blah. It makes a more sustainable household. You know, I can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at what people agree with, you know, for their marriage and stuff like that. However, semicolon. That's not the situation I'm in. And because it's not, I like to be the girl.
I'm not mad at it, Trina, and one of the things that you are, though, too, you're a boss, okay?
I work on it.
And you have some amazing things that you are working on the entrepreneurial side. Just talk about the importance of being an entrepreneur, especially during these particular times, and then some of the things that you are working on.
Well, you know, we're going through this time of COVID, and you know, a lot of people have been homebound for like at least 3 months plus. Yeah. And no matter who you are, everyone has an entrepreneurial side. Everyone has something that, you know, they've always wanted to have happen. And if you don't take the time out to do your research, to do your reading, to, you know, figure out what it is that can make that dream of yours come to fruition, even if it still hasn't happened yet, but to take the step, then you're lazy. Because God has given you, as a part of your innate nature, to do things on your own.
Yeah.
Everybody's not meant to be a follower. A lot of people are meant to be leaders. Now, the lazy ones are meant to be followers.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something that someone has in their head. Oh, I just thought of this new line of fluffy cups or some blankets or comforters, something, pillowcases. I don't care what it is. You have to go inside of yourself and think about, what can I do for myself to be that next entrepreneur? Because things are needed and things are necessary. People are shopping online. There are different ways to do things in this quote unquote new normal that we're doing. I'm trying to be very careful here too. Mr. or Mrs. Black business owner.
Mm-hmm.
We have just as much power as these national brands. It is important that you let the community know, I am here, I have this product. Maybe it's not on the shelves, but it is still available to you. We have cat litter, we have dog food, we have candles, we have shirts, we have jeans, we have so many things available through e-commerce that people don't know about. And I do that every Tuesday for my 4 o'clock rock. I always highlight a Black-owned business. And support does not always mean purchasing. Support sometimes means making sure the masses know that this is available. You don't have to purchase it, but guess what? Someone may be watching that needs it. I might not purchase it. Yeah. I don't endorse it. I don't get any money from it. I don't get anything from that person that I highlight every week. Nothing. I get nothing. No check, nothing. But it's important to know, Mr. Consumer or Mrs. Consumer, that we have Black-owned products that are parallel or equal to the national brands. And I just think it's important that they know that it's out there.
That's super, super dope, Trina. And people can let people know where they can catch 4 o'clock rock so they can tune in and hear about some of the amazing entrepreneurs you feature.
Oh, 4 o'clock on every Tuesday on Instagram. We're about to start going to YouTube.
Great.
And I have givers, hot sauce, candles and, bourbon, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to take this time to talk about what I have out. I want to take this time out to say, if anybody has a Black-owned business, that and when they do it decently and in order, you can send it to my DM, the Trina Braxton 1. And if you send a sample and I can take a look at it and I will display it on my 4 o'clock rock, because I want to make sure that the masses know what you have out there. And it's going to take a while because it's only once a week. So, it might take a couple of months because we're already filled up for quite a while. Because, like I said, I don't take a dime from this. I just want people to know, because support sometimes just comes in the form of making people know.
Absolutely.
But that's there.
That's amazing, Trina. That's amazing. And before they kick me out of here, I want to talk a little bit about Braxton Family Values. I saw a teaser. I don't know if I was imagining something. I was dreaming, hallucinating. I saw a teaser on Instagram that said you guys are coming back in November.
We are coming back in November. And let me tell you something. It's going to be a whole hoot. I'm getting married. So you guys get to see my bachelorette party. Just fast forward through that part.
So fun.
And I got married, and the thing is, there were so many hiccups. My flowers never came. I had so many problems with I had to order 3 different cakes. Only one of them worked out. It was a whole mess. But as long as he said I do, and as long as I said I do, then we are in business.
Yay. Well, what can we, without giving too much away, what can we expect from, some of your other siblings? What are some of the other sisters working on, or what are some things that they have going on without giving too much away?
Oh, Jesus, I don't even think y'all ready for it. There were situations happening behind the scenes during my wedding that I didn't even know about. And but the great part about it is we're a family. We're always a family, and that's the most important thing. And you're gonna see some good things. You're gonna see some bad things. You're gonna see some okay things. And we're still filming, so we'll see how it all plays out. And I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy because I go through COVID testing like 3 days a week.
Wow.
It's horrible. Like my nasal
cavity. So, like Trina,
molested.
Do they switch it though? Do you do like a different nostril each time?
They do both each time.
Oh yeah, they do both. Yeah, I've had one done before. You're right. They do both of them. Is there one that seems to agitate you, one nostril that agitates you more than the other? Is it evenly uncomfortable for you?
It's all the above. It's all uncomfortable. And to do it 3 times a week is just like, I have to brace myself. It's like, put a condom on the swab because I feel
it's really
invaded right now.
Guys, Trina said, well, it isn't bad. I think we're okay. We'll figure out if I can come back next week. I'm joking.
I didn't say a bad word. I did not say a bad word.
No, you did not say a bad. You're fine. I think it's fine. And it's crazy how production has really changed. And everybody taking COVID tests every 5 seconds, but this is what we have to do to be safe. And also, I think it's great because people are getting back to work and creatives are able to continue to do what they do. And the entertainment industry has been hit so hard, and I think sometimes people really don't understand that. So I'm, encouraged by the fact that you guys are up and running, you're shooting, and that people are going to continue to hear you all's story. Let me ask you this. Do you get to see the episodes before they are turned in to be aired? Like, when do you get to see them?
I am an EP of the show with editing content, right? So,
okay,
I do get to see it. But let me tell you, let me ask you a question. How are you?
Wow!
How are you feeling
question.
Stepping out into your own space and into growing into yourself? How are you doing? How are you feeling right now?
It's interesting. I am definitely grateful, and I feel a lot freer than I felt when I wasn't, in front of the camera, behind the mic, etc. But I will say too, it's been an interesting journey moving more on into the entrepreneurial side of things because I'm so used to that stability of having that job, that I know every 2 weeks I'm going to get a check. And so just coming into understanding what it takes to be an entrepreneur and also the feelings that are associated with that. You have to find, it's really more of a faith free fall than it is going to the same job every day. And so each has its benefits, but overall, I'm grateful. It's been challenging too because, I still produce, but, there's not a lot of work out here just because of COVID. So I'm just throwing as many energies as I can into being creative, into the gray area, into my show on Instagram Live, just a thought, like just really, really pushing. And I'm also grateful, Trina, that I've been able to turn a corner and really make a strong pivot brand wise. And I'm coming into my own in a way where I'm believing myself enough where people will believe me when they see and hear me. And I don't think I was at that place, before COVID hit. So I'm grateful. It is challenging. I'm still a work in progress, but this is what needed to happen for me.
The pendulum is changing and you are changing because I remember a time, when you would come into work and you would have your eyebrows done in such an amazing way. But you've graduated from eyebrows. There's so many different things. I see you in a half shirt sometimes. Hello.
I just got to show a little ab because it's in my stomach because I go to the gym. So I try to show the people a little without being too much.
My whole stomach is just one ab, and we working on it. But the thing is, you sit here and you talk about me, but I've looked at you and I've watched you and I continue to watch you and I'm watching you grow. And it's such an amazing thing to see because I've watched you step out of the background. I've watched you, go from that person behind, that one, not even a real cubicle computer and to this person who is stepping out to doing their own thing, to making her own mark. And I'm just so proud for you. I'm so happy for you. I wish you nothing but the best. And you are really doing your thing. And I almost want to kiss you in your mouth.
I miss you, Trina Bina. I need COVID to chill so I can see you. We can all hang out. Just I really miss you, and I received that, and I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for our connection. And it's funny, you can ask my sisters this. Many years ago, it's probably maybe like 5 years ago. I was unemployed at the time, and I was in California staying with my sister, one of my sisters, and I said, I loved Braxton Family Values. Like, that was my show. I loved Tony. I just thought the whole thing was great. And I said, one day, I'm going to work with them. This is what I said. I said, I'm going to work with them. And to think several years later, God, connected us, and I was able to work with you and then become friends with you through Sister Circle. What an amazing journey it's been. And I'm just grateful. And, thank you for everything. And, I continue to speak blessing over your life and your family. I love your mother. I love my soror, Tawanda. I love all of y'all. So, I'm always here.
Have some other things. I hate to cut you off, but there's some other things we can work on. Remember, we sat there with that whole meeting.
Yes. So let's chat. We gonna chat. We can chat it up. I got free time.
We're gonna chat offline. But I'm gonna ask you this one question, and maybe it's the communications major in me. I'm not sure, but listen, I have to ask you this: what made you decide? Okay, yes, now it is time for me to come out and do things on my own the way I want them done.
It really wasn't my decision. It was God's. When COVID said you don't have a job anymore, I didn't have a choice. I had no excuse. So literally that was it. God said, okay, no, girl, since you don't want to do it on your own, I'm going to push you. So it really was a push.
So how did you act on it? What did you do? Because this is going to help someone else.
I started, and Max, my board op, text me, man. He said we can go over a little bit, but just text me, bro. I'm gonna try to answer this really quick, and then I got a jet. For me, Trina, honestly, it was okay. You have no other excuse. You don't have an excuse that Sister Circle takes up too much of your time. You don't have any excuses. Now you're facing the fact that you have to do this on your own. I was complaining a lot about how other people didn't give me opportunities and other people didn't open doors. No, it was about me putting myself in a position to create opportunities for myself.